So I'm Steve Ressler. I'm president of Callyo. We are a public safety software company. We're based in St. Petersburg, Florida, but we also have an office in DC. We work with 10,000 plus agencies, city, county, state, federal, on a variety of mission critical software needs. Today, we're going to talk about a specific one, if my clicker works, called I-911. So this is a new product that we released just a few months ago, and we're excited to share it with this community today. So a little bit about I-911. So this looks like an athletic bunch. Imagine you're kayaking out in the river. Current sweeps you. You're in the middle of nowhere. It's getting dark. You might call 911. Or maybe you're driving to the Appalachian Mountains and you're on a rural country road and you're lost and it's getting dark. You don't know where you are. You call 911 for help. Your assumption is probably they know where you are, right? Like we're used to in our personal lives, dropping pins, find my friends. We assume people have really good location on where you are in these emergency locations. So we assume you have this perfect location, but in reality, this is often what the dispatcher is looking at. So dispatch centers, for folks that don't know, that's the people handling the intake of 911 calls. They're sitting in dispatch centers, they're in front of monitors, they're on their laptops, they're on their computers. When you call in, they're often seeing a 3 football field radius of your location, which this is in San Francisco, another Mapbox headquarters. It's a big difference if you're on the Moscow Center or if you're on the corner of here, if we're following up for emergency response. This is well documented in a classic John Oliver clip, which we'll share right here.
In the dark in suburban Atlanta when she careened into this pond. She knew right where she was.
The fairway in Batesville. Batesville and what? The fairway is the street, ma'am. Fairway, I don't have that.
But 911 dispatchers can't find her on their map. It took first responders nearly 20 minutes to get to her.
She died because a system we expect to save our lives failed her. And 911 losing valuable time simply because dispatchers have trouble determining your location is not unusual. The FCC estimates improving location accuracy could save over 10,000 lives a year, which seems like a worthwhile goal. And while 911 centers do get some location info from wireless carriers, it varies wildly. Sometimes they might only get the cell tower your call was routed through. And that's why, around the country, your chance of them quickly getting your exact whereabouts ranges from as low as 10% to as high as 95%. Just watch one reporter put a dispatch center in Virginia to the test.
911, what's the emergency?
Hi, this is Jeff Rawson with NBC News. Just want to know if you can tell me where our location is on your computer.
Showing 4641 West Fox Road.
That's not here.
Absolutely not. That's about a quarter mile away.
And we're standing in the actual 911 center. That's it right down there.
Oh, that is not good. And if you're thinking, well, hold on, wait a minute. I can find my location on my cell phone. Well, you're not alone. Dispatchers wonder the same thing.
I can check in on Facebook and it'll tell you exactly what building I'm in. I can be at the hockey game and it tells me I'm at First Niagara Center checking in on Facebook. But when you call 911, we don't get that accurate location information. So the technology's out there, it's just not getting to us at this point.
Well, obviously, we're technologists here, right? So when we see a problem like that, we know we're solving in a consumer lives. How do we solve this to save lives? So Callyo, as I mentioned before, we have 7+ years of building public safety software. We're trusted by 10,000 plus agencies. They know and like us, and they want more technology for us. So we built a free precise location product called I-911. A lot of this may not seem like rocket science to the folks in the field, but it solves a very concrete and important problem. The process is, if you're a dispatcher and you get a call coming in, you just pull up a simple web browser, i911.com. Once you're verified by us, you type in the number of the 911 call. What's neat is we do a pretty interesting thing where we get the location data from Android and Apple, not from the carriers, which we mentioned earlier. The problem from the John Oliver video is the carriers are often off the towers pretty far away, or they're just not location good from the carriers. So Android or iOS directly gives it to a third party called RapidSOS, which is an amazing technology company out of New York. With that API, we then pass it to i911.com. So what this looks like, obviously it's on a beautiful Mapbox map here for the web location. The important things is we have this uncertainty radius here, which shows 24 meters. So we're able to take that down from that 300 meter that we talked about before down to 24. And you're able to get that in just seconds. What we often find is dispatch, sometimes they're dealing with 911 calls. That's 80% of the job. But there's often a lot of other emergencies that aren't on an active 911 call. That could be Coast Guard responding to a lost boat. It could be a follow-up to a 911 call, and you still want to share locations. So in that behalf, we do a simple SMS text-based approach. We ask the caller on the call, can we send you a text? We send them a text just like you would on a consumer app where you get a text when your restaurant is available, your order's coming, or when you're cutting in line and finally making it for your reservation. We send them a text, ask them to share their location just like you would with their friend, and then same process, get right on a simple, beautiful map. We just launched this product. We'll go one back, then we'll switch back. We just launched this product actually in November at IACP. It's the International Association of Chief of Police show. And what got a lot of great responses, just the powerful of the John Oliver video of we're not able to get those locations right now, and then we're able to do it quickly. And then for us, we like building free lightweight tools that then we get in the market and create enterprise features. If I can rewind one. The power of Mapbox is what you often find. So I'm the president, I'm not the technologist. So you imagine I'm not making a lot of these mapping and technical decisions. But one day I was talking to our lead developer on the product as we're building it, and I said, hey, what are we building for mapping? We've used other services in the past, and he said, hey, I really want to try Mapbox this time because obviously it does web really well, mobile really well. You can customize it in ways we wanted to customize it. He'd already kind of built the API and technology. Then we reached out to John D and the Mattebox team, and were able to get some extra support helping it make it government ready. You've heard a lot about core Mapbox today. I asked Robert, our lead developer, why do you like Mapbox? And it's not just the core of what they do, it's how they help support the open source community. So in this quote here, he talks about the open source library Turf, which helps us get that radius, uncertainty radius, and how the support of Mapbox on that open source library with the integration with Mapbox, we were able to quickly deploy this. The other interesting thing on the timeline, I spent 6 years at Homeland Security, kind of serial government technologist. The fun part about being in technology today is the speed of these things. I think we had the idea for this product in July. We got access to the RapidSOS API in August, got the Mapbox kit in September, and we were able to launch it just a month later. So just the speed of development is amazing these days. And I have one more video. So as I mentioned, we're from St. Pete, Florida, so we have our own cheesy video of seeing I-911 in action. So if you want to play that video.
Beautiful day out here in St. Petersburg, Florida. We're right at Johns Pass. This is an area where a lot of kayakers come through here. So let's say that you got caught in a current, need emergency assistance, and you either call 911, radio the Coast Guard. It might be a little bit hard if you're not from this area, or even if you are from this area, to describe exactly where you are. So if you look over here on the screen, you'll see that we have a precise location of where this vessel is at the moment, down to just a couple meters away. So this information can be shared with the Coast Guard to dispatch assistance immediately. All right, so we're about to cross under Johns Pass Bridge here. We're headed 30 miles offshore to go fishing today. Let's see how far out we can get while we continue to track the boat. Okay, so we're about 10 miles west of Johns Pass. I just received the text message as the boater requesting to share my location. I tap that link, page comes up, and all I have to do is tap Start Sending Location. You'll see that it says Connected and Location Set. So now you'll see that the Coast Guard is able to track our location about 10 miles offshore.
The best part about that video is the unnecessary pictures of the dolphins and the fish at the end. That was my buddy Chris, he's the founder. He just wanted to show off his fishing skills. So, if you're a public safety agency, I encourage you to check out I-911. As I mentioned, it's a free tool, as well as we have some enterprise offerings. We also have a series of other tools in law enforcement. If you're from that arena, reach out to me. If you're a technologist and want to move to warm St. Pete, Florida, and go on the boat and catch fish with Chris, we're always hiring. And I just wanted to say thank you. Please reach out if I can, and thanks to the Mapbox team.